You got to zoom in on those bottles at some point too during the show. You know. Hi, this is Scott Jordan, and you are watching live here at Cellars of Sonoma in beautiful Railroad Square. And welcome everybody to TV Tuesday Live. This is the show where we taste wine, we talk about wine. You know what I didn't set up in here because I haven't been using it is I just remembered the light, but I guess the light's fine. You can see me, so that's good. And this is the show where we taste wine, talk about wine, and tonight we're going to taste wines that you can enjoy for this 4th of July holiday. And when we talk about 4th of July or holidays or parties or patriotic things, I always like to bring in my buddy Russ. Russ, right? Welcome. Way
Boom!
Boom, just like we're going to have on Friday. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to taste 4 wines that you can have and incorporate with your friends on 4th of July that'll go with a variety of different foods. So everybody would be happy, and so we have our red, white, and blue bucket here, just so that we have something that represents the stars and stripes. So and the holiday's falling on a weird day. It's falling on
Friday,
which is,
I like that.
I can't even think of a time.
I think it's worse when it's right in the middle of the week.
What's that?
7 years ago. It was on Friday.
It was. Is that some?
7 days in the week.
Keep it down now.
Okay.
Come on.
It's all right. Yeah. So, it's kind of weird though, but I don't like it when it's on a Wednesday.
I hate that. That's the worst.
Right. Actually, Thursday's probably the best because you can sneak off the Friday.
Steal Friday.
And man, now your 4-day weekend, and you know. So anyway, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to taste some things that could go really well. So we're going to taste 4 wines: the La Serena Dry Moscato, and then a new wine from Deering, the 2013 Rosé made from Pinot Noir, and then a Pinot from T.R. Elliott, the Quest, which is a blend from 2 single vineyards, and we'll talk more about that. And then the Rock Piles Inn, which we haven't had for a while, from Bonnell. That's quite tasty.
One of my favorite appellations, Rock Pile.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And you know, it's one of those wines that no matter who makes it, it's pretty nice fruit.
It's a good appellation. We always have that argument, what's the best appellation? But in my mind, for Sonoma County, that's one of the best.
It is by far. And it sits at the very top of Sonoma County, those of you that don't know, right above Lake Sonoma, which will be a very popular place this weekend, I have to say.
Very hardy grapes.
Well, let's pour the first wine, which is the La Serena 2012 Dry Moscato. This is a real versatile wine that you can really enjoy with your, and if you get a chance to zoom on that, you can really enjoy with your meal as the beginning with your meal. Why can't you go down? unscrew the handle.
It won't
Just
go down on you.
On
it
the
won't
handle.
go. Yes, it will. See the handle you have in your hand? No. Yeah, just twist it, and it'll. Ah, there you go. We have Nita helping us tonight. Karina is not here, and Nita is working the camera, and she couldn't get it to go down on us. So it's kind of a worthless camera from my perspective. So this is a real versatile wine. This has a lot of possibilities. One, you can put it with spicy foods, not a problem. Any of your Thai foods would work really well. You can, in the tasting room, when you, let's see, do we have this? Oh, we had it on the food pairing, and they did some shrimp with it, which was really, really good. So you can use your appetizers and use a wine like this, right, in the summertime.
You know what I really enjoy with this Moscato is salty food, or something like a bacon type of food.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That's like
Yeah.
salt and it just is a perfect combination.
yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, it'll hold
So
up.
maybe the chips in your dip, right?
Yeah, because you don't want to dive into the red wines right away in your meal. Be a little more versatile and you know, spread it out a little bit. You know, use these other wines. And I know I'm talking to red wine drinkers. What's the problem here? Okay. I'm talking to red wine drinkers, and they're you know, they just walk right past a wine like this, and it's really a
Big
big
mistake.
It's a big mistake. And no one will make fun of you if you do this. So don't be afraid someone's going to make fun of you.
Well, and then if you're on a hot day,
Yeah.
a crisp wine like that is just perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you got a bucket of ice and you keep it in there. It's 95 degrees out there or something like that. Oh my, that's just
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, I always, maybe I'm incorrect, but I always kind of like red wine when it gets dark and you're about ready to watch the fireworks. And I like, if you're going to sit out somewhere, have a nice crisp wine like this during the day, and it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Not too much alcohol, very tasty, goes with everything.
Yeah, you could put this with anything, any of your cheeses, any of your you know, like shrimp and things like that. You might have dips, and to your point, you know, even potato chips with some dip. Those other red wines don't mix with that stuff at all.
Yeah.
So you're screwing it up by doing it that way. So get into it, understand it, and
Well, you know, what's really good with this too is your pesto panini.
oh yeah, yeah. So when you come in the tasting room, you have the caprese that we do,
That is
and it's
delicious.
it's got pesto in it, and it's got sun-dried tomatoes, and it has I have to read it off of here because mozzarella, and it's on a ciabatta roll, and with a nice little salad,
Perfect combination.
and this pairs up wonderful. But if you tried to put a big cab with that, it's not going to fly.
Yeah.
They're going to compete something terrible. So yeah, this is a really fun, and just because it says Moscato, don't be fooled. She did was she made it dry. Do you know how she makes it dry?
How?
If you stop the fermentation part way, it lowers the sugar.
And
to
how
it.
do you stop it again?
Well, you got to cool it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what does that entail?
Well, you know, they're in stainless steel tanks,
Right?
and the tanks have cooling jackets on them. That's the little dimples you see on a big stainless steel wine tank. And you can literally freeze that wine. I mean, you could make ice form on the side of that tank.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. You do that in part of your process when you're getting ready to bottle. You want to separate the solids from the juice, and that's how you do that.
Oh, I got you.
and the solids will drop right to the bottom of the tank.
So what did they do prior to that kind of technology? That you had to drop it in?
Put it in a cave.
or something?
Yeah, you dug caves and got it into some natural cooling area, and that's about all you can really do. But yeah, by stopping that fermentation, you are making that dry, and that's how she does that. If you didn't, that Moscato would be very sweet.
Sweet. Yeah.
And then in your meal planning, it's got to go at the back end. You're not jumping sweet right out of the gate. You're gonna kill the other wines, and the food's not gonna match up at all. But this is a definitely a surprise. People are really shocked when they taste this because in the nose, it's fruity, man. It's all about pears and just fresh cut apples and white grapes. You can it's like white table grapes. You get that flavor. Nita, you also want to be aware on the other computer over there.
Yeah, I've been checking it.
For comments and questions. If you guys have questions, you can ask us anything.
May
and-
not answer it, right?
Yeah. Well,
Well,
Depending on the
USA
question.
lost, so we're kind of pissed at that. The Giants stink right now. Well, that's making me mad.
Hey, July, it's a new month. July 1st.
And
Right.
thank God we're into July, and we're damn even again. Was there a question there?
it's not really a question, it's a statement.
A statement. Ooh.
From My Vine Spot.
Uh huh.
It says the dry Moscato is an ideal appetizer with appetizer. I think I pronounced that one. It's like a
Aperitif?
aperitif.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Aperitif.
It's a aperitif.
Aperitif.
So
Yes.
I'm rusty.
I
on
mean,
my
really,
French.
it's the beginning of your meal plan. I mean, that's no question that'll work well. Oops, now we just took one away. So $30 retail. There's no discount on that wine, but it's really cool, and it comes in a blue bottle, which is part of red, white, and blue. So what more could you, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so another favorite, and it's a favorite for me. I mean, well, we go out wine tasting. We really look for rosés. I mean, I'm jumping all over that. When Angie and I went to Napa 2 weeks ago for our anniversary, we looked for rosés everywhere, and we found some really nice rosés. This is from Deering, right here in the tasting room. This is their 2013, so one of the few 13s that we've seen, and we're pretty happy with that. This is made from Pinot, and again, another real versatile wine. Now you're getting into something that the red wine drinkers can actually enjoy the rosés because it's coming from a red grape. Now, for those that don't know, just as a little info on rosé, basically all they're doing in rosés, they're using the Pinot Noir grape in this example, and they're pulling the skins off real early, and that's why you get this very light color. Most of the time, you're going to age this in stainless steel tanks and do your fermentation. Sometimes you will take some of that out of there and put it into neutral barrels. You don't want to over oak the wine. It doesn't have enough structure to handle all that new wood. But they did put some of this in oak for a very short time, and it gives you a little more roundness. Yeah, it's got a nice big mouthfeel. Again, really refreshing, fun wine. And
So I have an annual tradition on July 4th. I go up to the beach at South Lake Tahoe, and you're there all day because you start at 9 a.m. in the morning and you go all the way up to the fireworks because you can see fireworks across the lake at Incline Village, then the one at South Lake. So you need 2 meals. So I always stop and get a bucket of KFC for the afternoon meal, and then we
Okay.
barbecue hot dogs for the evening meal. And I believe KFC would go perfect with this.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But you like KFC everything.
Yeah, KFC works. We only have one in this town, right? There's only one on Cleveland, right? Is that the
I
only
believe
one?
that's, you're right. Oh, no,
Yeah,
there's
so
one on
KFC, so that's a,
Santa Rosa Avenue.
there's one there too. So yeah, KFC. All right, so there's a great meal plan. You got some KFC, go for it with a little bit of rosé. Great value on a wine like this, $22, $18.70 if you're a Cellar Club member. If you're not sure what wine membership is all about, it's pretty simple. In fact, we're shipping out the Cellar Club's wines now. If you become a member, you're going to get 4 bottles 4 times a year. You're going to get up to 15% off on your wines, 20 on a reorder. Sometimes deals as good as 30 and 40%, depending on a vintage. And so, great opportunity to get connected to these small producers. You will not see this in the grocery store. You're just not going to see it. No. So, did you, for 4th of July trivia, did you come up with any history things that you want to share?
Well, actually, the history. It says variously known as 4th of July or Independence Day, July 4th has been a federal holiday in the United States since 1941. But the tradition of Independence Day celebrations goes back to the 18th century and the American Revolution, 1975 to 1983, which
So,
a lot of people don't realize it went on for a period of time.
Now, was it not called 4th of July prior to 41? Is that, or is that when they made it an official?
They made it a federal holiday. It
I
was
see.
a state holiday, which is later in there. So, in June 1776, representatives of the 13 colonies then fighting in the Revolutionary struggle weighed a resolution that would declare their independence from Great Britain. On July 2nd, the Continental Congress voted in favor of independence, and 2 days later,
The 4th.
its delegates adopted the Declaration of Independence, right? A historic document drafted by Thomas Jefferson. From 1776 until present day, July 4th has been our Independence Day.
Wow. So it's good to reflect. So you got a question there, Nita?
Yeah, from my vine spot again, it says, I may have missed it last time. What style is the Deering Rose made in? Leading?
What did you say? Bleeding? No, it's done in the French style, and yeah, that's what they did. It's the real deal. Sometimes they just bleed off some of the juice that they're not using for something else. But this had a purpose.
And then Wyoming Brad said, could you mix a rose in a white sangria?
Yeah, the rosé. We've been for the last couple of weeks talking about sangria, and I've made boatloads of sangria. Yeah, you can in sangria you can throw anything in there. We did do a rosé sangria as one of the first ones that we did last summer, and yeah, that worked dandy. Not a problem. It I would want a little more structure, a little more texture in the sangria. What you can do though is you can always mix that. So you can mix the red and white wines in the sangria. You don't have to stick with white. Really, you're trying to extract some of the fruit and the alcohol, really. But the color is going to be masked so heavily with the red wines that it's not going to have that big an influence. But yeah, you could certainly do that. In fact, Brad would probably bring some of that to the lobster lunch. And this is a good segue to talk about lobster lunch. Our first lobster lunch is coming up in 2 weeks, the 12th of July. That's going to be over at the Bonneau Winery in Sonoma, which is pretty cool. And I think we've got you slated on that event, right?
I'm going to be helping out.
So you'll be able to meet Russ and Nita at that event, and they'll be helping us put that on. It's quite a beautiful place, surrounded by vineyards. John will give you a really nice tour of the vineyard, and then we'll open it up with oysters on the half shell, which this will go well with.
Perfect.
Yep. And then artisan cheeses. So you got some. So those that don't eat the oysters can certainly enjoy the cheese. And then a vineyard tour. And then when you get back, they're going to put this feast together. And so I'm going to have Nita roll a video of lobster lunch. So this is what you're going to go and do on the 12th. Okay, so if you don't get it from that, you shouldn't try to sign up. I'm just telling you, that's the coolest event ever. And what'll make it really cool is you guys. And so we've got a nice group going at Bonneau. We're going to cap that around 40s. We're getting real close. So make sure you get your tickets. You can go right online and get them. And they're $95 per person. That's all inclusive, including the wine. And it's just a great time. We have a blast at that event. And the other date that we have is at James Family Cellars, and that is up on August 9th. So if you can't make the 12th date, go ahead and sign up for the August 9th. August coming. We're talking about August already. Man, it's killing me. Next thing will be Christmas. Oh God, what happened to my summer?
No, it's going to be back to school commercials. The kids just got out. I used to hate that when I was a kid, right? It's like, all right, all summer. Now you get all these advertisements. Come down, get your school supplies. It's back to school.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, give me a break for 5 minutes. So anyway, great event. You don't want to miss that. That's a really cool one. And then we added another event that just came kind of to us. If you're going to be around the area on the 13th, the day after Lobster Lunch, we're having a classical trio that are going to be playing right in front of the tasting room underneath the awning that I'm going to put up. And in fact, they're bringing a baby grand piano. They're going to put it right out here in front.
Who's carrying that over?
They're taking care of the whole thing. We're just hosting the venue, and so that's from 1 till 4, and that's a free event. And so come to that event, have some wine, sit outside, listen to classical music. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's. Well, it's wine country, man. That's kind of a cool gig. So anyway, so I don't know what to expect. We're just using our venue, and but it should be fun.
Sharing the arts.
Exactly. And you can order lunch. You can have a caprese, or you can have a Tuscan chicken, or one of our, cheese plates and sausage and cheese. And I might. Barbecue up some chicken or something just to have a little more substance, but that's coming up. Oh, you know what else is coming up, which is super cool, and we're going to try to partner with them, is the Shakespeare Festival is coming to right down the street at the old cannery, right by the railroad tracks. They're going to actually have a play a Shakespeare play, Romeo and Juliet. And we're putting together lunch baskets that'll have a bottle of wine, some glasses. They'll have a caprese in it or Tuscan chicken, and you'll be able to call and order up that and pick it up here and walk right down to the end of the block and go see that play. They're running July, I believe they're running July 18th through the middle of August every Saturday.
And that's in a basket?
Oh yeah, we'll have it it's our carry bags that we have. And it holds a bottle and it'll hold 2 glasses and then 2 sandwiches.
Perfect.
So you got a little food, you got a little wine, you got Shakespeare down the street. How could you go wrong? What would be?
Be sure to call and order those.
Yeah, you got to order those. You want to order that in advance so it's ready to rock, and we'll have it ready to roll. I'm going to have a tent out front, and it will be actually cooking them on demand for folks as they park their cars and go down to watch the show. So that's July 18th, I think, and I believe it's either Friday, Saturday night, 2 shows.
They pay for the ticket, or is it a free event?
Oh no, they pay for a ticket when they get down there.
Okay.
Or in advance.
And it's inside the cannery?
No, it's actually the only thing that's at the cannery are the old brick walls. You know, if you go all the way down to the end of the street, it's just that used to be a cannery, but there's 3 big walls left, and the other are wide open, and so they're going to have it inside of there, and they've leveled it off, and you bring your own chair and a blanket and so on, and it's Shakespeare under the stars.
What's the date on that?
That starts July 18th, and it runs through August 15th or something.
Check
Just-
the website.
Yeah, just check.
This website.
Yeah, we'll have a link up there real soon, so you guys can order your tickets. I think it's gonna be real popular. I think people are gonna dig it. I'm not necessarily a Shakespeare guy, but it could be pretty cool. So that another fun, and the bottom line is, as long as you got nice wine with you, then you're fine, right?
They're gonna let you drink wine or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Special event?
That is awesome.
yeah, right.
That sounds
They do that. They do
great.
that stuff in Healdsburg and in Windsor. Yeah, they don't have any issues with that. You know, just pick it up and go. Yeah, bring your own booze. Gotta like that. So anyway, you got a question there, Neat?
Yeah, Don or Dan would like to know what's your favorite 4th of July pairing for?
Oh, yeah.
What do you like to do?
Well, I like to have beer actually.
Words
Yeah,
out.
I know. Words out. Again, I'm a big rosé fan, so I like it because it's real versatile. So, you know, when you have a big 4th of July party, you have all these people come and they bring different stuff. So I want something that's going to be real versatile and go with a lot. So that's why I lean toward the Moscato or the rosé. When you start to get into the bigger reds, you're limited to what they're really going to pair up with, and so that's kind of my take on that. Speaking of going into reds, a wine that we haven't poured much in the tasting room because we don't have a whole lot of this. T.R. Elliott. That's pretty funny.
What's that?
That's pretty funny. Look at that.
It is a dump bucket. You know that?
It's the only thing in the room that's red, white, and blue.
Oh, that's so funny. That's
Scott's
so
got
funny.
over 50 American flags in his backyard.
I forgot my flags today. I drove over here and I went, oh crap. I almost called you and said, stop at my house and pick up some flags. This is T.R. Elliott's 2012 Quest. He made 17 barrels of that. That's all he made. That's not a lot of wine, man. That's really not. 8 barrels from Hallberg Vineyard and 9 from O'Connell. And it's, you know, this is T.R. Elliott at his best. Ted does a wonderful job with Pinot Noir. He also makes a new Chardonnay that we've had 2 vintages of, and we're very happy about that. But this is real the old Russian River. So once you're done playing around with the little fun wines, the beginning.
Sun's starting to go down, getting ready for the fireworks.
So now you're thinking, you're thinking things like turkey, lamb go real well with Pinot Noir. You could get away with hot dogs, or sausages if you're gonna do. You like to do sausages.
Yep.
They're elk. You know?
Yeah,
Russ
elk
always has the
elk
elk.
burgers. Oh boy, that is delicious.
That's very good.
Wow.
Try and get some of that from Chris this year and make something down here in the tasting room with his elk.
With his elk, if you guys have never had elk is really cool. You got to be a real hunter though to get it. It's not like you're going to go to the store and go, oh, I'll take 2 pounds of that elk. Yeah,
It's delicious.
it's pretty spectacular, and he does a lot of different stuff with the elk.
Tacos.
He does, but he does. No, he does. He does.
Sausage.
If you keep answering my freaking question, I'll never get it. No, he makes beef jerky. Doesn't he make jerky with it?
I don't know.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he has
He
a.
makes venison
Yeah,
from his
it's
deer.
really good. Elk is
It's
very
just
good.
So good.
So you can get into some gamey stuff with this. So you could do duck. Duck would be really nice with the Pinot. When he does, you want something that's a little more versatile. Pinot Noir, quite versatile. Price point on this is $44. $37.40 again if you're a Cellar Club member. You're getting all the deals.
Just kind of curious why Quest is normally Quest, but this is Queste. Do you know what that's about?
Well, it's the French version.
Quest. Okay.
Yeah, and it's the quest for the very best wine is what Ted told me.
Gotcha.
What he was his theme, and if you look on the label, he's got a helmet.
Right. Like
And
a medieval
medieval,
what
yeah.
knight would wear or something
And
like
then
that.
these are the plumes. So he makes one that's called the 3 plumes, which is the 3 plumes there.
Uh-huh.
So the quest is the quest for the best wine and the 3 plumes.
Gotcha.
So that's his theory or whatever the inspiration was. But so go ahead, Nita. You got a question?
Yeah, my Vine Spot says TR wines are delicious. That should pair well with grilled lamb, burgers, and chops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pork chops. That's another one. I'm finding different ways to cook pork chops, and one of the things that I've been doing is buying them real thick, and then slicing them and butterfly them open, and then caramelize some apples, and you put the apples in there with a little cheese, and then you bake it that way.
Huh.
And that makes it real super tender. And I've also tried it the way I do. You know how I do my stuffed chicken?
Right.
And the only difference there is that you bread it on both sides and then sear both sides of the meat and then stick it in the oven, and you could do it that way too. And then any leftover caramelized apples that you have, you just spread it over the top, kind of like a sauce. Like it makes this really neat sauce. Yeah, maybe I'll do that and make that. I should. What I need to do is I need to do during the show. I need to show you how to do it, all the way up to putting it in the oven, and then do like they do on Good Morning America. They go, and here's the final product, and they bring it out. Because once you see it, it's relatively simple. I should show that. In fact, I'll do that. What's next week? Next week is the 9th, right? Today's the 1st, so next week has to be the 7th. Is that right? 8th? Okay. Next week I will make stuffed chicken, because I can cook it downstairs in the little easy bake oven.
You make a great stuffed chicken.
And I will show you from start to finish how I do the stuffed chicken and how cool that is. And so I'm gonna do that next week, and I'll do it live, and I'll come in early enough so because it only takes the cooking time is 20 minutes in the oven. I mean it's pretty fast. But what I'll do is see I could actually technically, if I have a helper, I could actually sear it on both sides, put it in the pan, have someone run it downstairs and stick it in there during the show, and it would be something you could eat before the end of the show. It only takes 20 minutes, not 22 minutes. It's 20.
Don't want to get it tough. Overcook it.
Yeah, you never want to overcook. Did you have a question there, Brooke?
Brian says your legs are glaringly white.
That's because he uses sunscreen, which I don't use. That's why this way, look. I'm just like, I'm from the South. So, yeah. But you're going to live longer because I'll probably get all kinds of nasty diseases by doing that. But I was baking.
Well, Brad loves your pork chop idea. He says he's going to try it. And then Dan.
Yeah, but you got to do it right, though. Go ahead.
That's why you're going to do a sample. And then Dan said to try it with some stuffing in the middle. You'll love it.
Stuffing in the middle of, oh yeah, you could do that.
You know, like
Yeah, but Jesus, Dan,
stuffing.
the whole idea, the whole reason that I actually make a stuffed chicken was I was doing it as a really healthy diet issue, and now you're going to screw it up by putting a bunch of bread in there. Oh my God! But it would taste really good. But I would do that I would only do that with a turkey breast. I don't know if I like. Do I like dressing with chicken?
Well,
No, he's talking with the pork chop.
Oh, with the pork chop.
Yeah,
Oh,
so a thick pork chop, cut it, and then stuff it with something like a kind of a buttery mushroom type of combination or something like that. You grind up, you put it in the food processor, and you stuff that in there, and maybe throw in a little bacon, you know.
Yeah, a little bacon. Yeah, this thing's going down south real quick. I might as well have a big baked potato too.
Bacon makes everything.
Oh my God. Well, all I know is my stuffed chicken is very healthy because
Delicious.
all I have, the ingredients are simple. It's a chicken breast, boned, nice boneless chicken breast. It's got prosciutto in it. It's got provolone and spinach. I mean, come on, what could be bad? Really?
Variations of it.
No. Now, if those of you that didn't hear that, Nita said you can do variations. I'm telling you right now that if you want it to be absolutely delicious, don't change the menu. Just leave it exactly the way it is. You might think you can mess around with it, but it ain't happening. I'm just telling you, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
No. It'll never taste that good. Because I nailed it.
Dan said Brian's calling someone too white.
Are you losing?
So where is the Hallberg and the O'Connell vineyards that these grapes are derived
Those are all Russian River. They're over near Fulton. And the other one is over by, what is that, Waller Bridge? Yeah, that as you come right off of River Road and boom, it's right there. And yeah, it's a great vineyard. And what's interesting about what Ted does, there are vintages that he's not made wine.
Hasn't had the quality?
Did not up to his standard. He is tough. He is really tough.
So what do you do with the grapes?
Sold them off on the market and moved it on. Yeah, you got to really appreciate. I mean, that's a real, that's a big expense, you know. Because you're missing a vintage. The whole idea is to make wine and sell it. But in that example, what they do is they do the fermentation, they put it into barrels, and then they sell it as bulk wine. So, guy will come in and buy the whole damn thing, and boom.
Yeah, but he's getting, a percentage of what he would normally make.
Right. Oh, sure.
Because-
Instead of getting $44 a bottle.
But, he's probably covering his cost, right?
Right. Exactly.
So, and just mark it off as one of those things, and you're not going to sacrifice your name quality for
Right.
something that does not meet
doesn't make it
criteria.
great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and you have to be real careful when you're out there. And the other scenario is he doesn't own the vineyard, so he's under contract though to take the fruit. So that's where you got to make some real decisions. But if it doesn't make the grade, you just don't make it.
Did he, when that happened, did he tell you what he thought was the caused the grapes to be not up to his criteria?
Yeah, but it was a weather issue at the time. It just the bricks didn't get where they really wanted it to be, and it's just one of those things that it just didn't sit well with him. So he said, "I'm not doing it."
So, and then what was the year that we had the fire that you could almost taste that within some of the grapes?
2008. If you get wine in 2008 from the northern part of Sonoma County or right into Mendocino, you got to really be careful. And I've seen a lot of that, and it's really awful. They tried all these things to get the smoke out, and I have yet to see one that was heavily affected where they were able to change it though. I mean, they spent lots of money trying to get rid of that smoke.
And then you heard that there's a big fire over in Napa.
Well, Nita said that today, so I didn't catch it. I was watching the
so
U.S.
it's-
getting their butt kicked in the damn.
You know where Pope Valley is, or Hidden Valley, Hidden Lake? You know where you played golf the other day?
Up
Hidden
in Lake County.
It's on the way up there. So if you can look at, if you can imagine Lake Berryessa, it'd be kind of northeast from Lake Berryessa.
Oh, okay.
But
Wow.
you can, if you walk out here, you can see the smoke from here.
Really see this? Really?
Yeah, I was watching it all day. I
Oh my
thought that
God.
originally that it was right over here between us and
So,
Calistoga.
so
but
you're saying it's more Calistoga
on
Mountain?
the other side of the
So that's Pope Valley on the other side.
yeah, Pope Valley.
Wow, I did not know that. No, that's a surprise. I did not know that. Wow. Well, danger, danger, danger. We didn't have a whole lot of freaking rain here, and yeah, this could be the start of something terrible, unfortunately. Yeah, because that's man, it just for grape growing, see, we don't really want the rain, but boy, did we need it in the season, and we didn't get it. And those hills are dry, and the wind was up. Man, wow, that's a bummer. Well, you got lots of vineyards over there too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look out northeast, you'll see just the big smoke.
Oh my
right
gosh.
out there.
Wow. What'd you have there, Neat?
Dan said, Scott, did Ted lose some fruit which will limit his production?
Oh, did he lose some fruit? Well, he did. I want to say in this wine, no, in his 3 plumes, he didn't do a 2010 because just couldn't get the fruit as nice as what he normally would have, and so he just aborted and sold it on the bulk market. So it's in your grocery store. Under an unknown label. I mean, that's kind of how that stuff works. It just shows up somewhere, and that's the end of it. So, yeah, you got to be. You just don't. What you want is consistency. That's really the game. The game is being consistent. Because if your customer base gets a bottle and you made some funky wine, they're gone, man. It's over.
So many other Pinots out there.
Yeah, there's hundreds and hundreds of them, thousands.
So I have a question here. We went to Fort Baker and did that wine tasting where they have rows and rows of Pinot, right? Remember when we did that?
You mean at
The-
Fort Mason?
Fort Mason, yeah. And so some of the Pinots are a little more earthy than others. And I would say this one for me is a little more on, not quite as earthy as I've had it, but it's on that pathway.
Yeah.
So what's your thought on that?
Well, it's again, it's all location. That's typically what you're going to find in Russian River fruit. Now, if you go to Sonoma Coast and get fruit over there, much lighter style,
Yeah.
much lighter, more fruit forward. The fruit's more up front, and it doesn't have that, that forest floor kind of, mushroom.
Right.
This is all about mushroom and that forest, and you don't see that in the Sonoma Coast. Much crisper and lighter in color too. When you lay them side by side, it's very dramatic. The difference between Russian River and then there's Anderson Valley, and that adds another characteristic. But you don't grow Pinot just anywhere. You got to be careful. You start getting these hot pockets. That's why you don't see it over in Napa, except for the lower part, which is the Los Caneros region.
Right.
It's just too damn hot. That's a thin-skinned grape, and it can't take the heat, so you'll burn it. You'll fry it.
Stay out of the fire.
Stay out of the fire. That's right. Hey, Nita, I wanted to talk about what's going on this weekend and the flyer that you have up there for the musician. It's your last slide there. Go ahead and put that one up. We have Ricky Allen Ray coming in on Thursday, and that'll be very fun. Friday is 4th of July. Will be closed. So if you need wine, you better get it before that. And then Saturday we have Greg Yowder. So that flyer you're looking at says John Pita, but he is not playing on Friday. He will be with his kids and his wife and getting ready for his sermon that he does each Sunday at his little church. So enjoy the 4th. But if you do need to stock up, you better get in here because you're going to walk by and it will be dark. And that'll be okay because it's going to be a beautiful day too. It's still going to be warm, although it's cooling down. It cooled down last night.
Yeah, it did.
You guys that are tuned in from other parts of the country, especially the middle of the country, and then way in Virginia where Dizelle is, and you guys in the summer because you get all that humidity. It's warm at night. Here, yesterday, it was probably 95 plus, right, during the day?
Yeah.
Did you say it was that hot? By the time I came home around 7:30, quarter to 8, something like that, it was in the 60s.
Yeah.
It was cold enough with the wind. It was cold enough that we had blankets outside.
Yeah, and you can feel that breeze. It kicks in at about 6 o'clock. You just feel it, and it's like someone turned on the AC. Well, we had fog at our house at Rincon Valley until about 10 o'clock. The sun burned it off, but it was foggy all the way up till then.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I don't get quite that much fog, but it's cold enough coming off that ocean. Man, oh man, I mean, it dropped that temperature like crazy. Could barely sit out there.
I was working with a guy from Texas, and he was up in the East Bay, and it was 100 degrees, and he was staying in San Francisco. When he got into San Francisco, the fog was blowing in like you wouldn't believe. It was 50 degrees difference from where he started in East Bay. He goes, he couldn't imagine. He goes, how in the world can you go 40 miles and change 50 degrees?
50 degrees, yeah. So those of you that are traveling to California in the summer, bring layers. You're going to be surprised. Now, we could get some balmy nights, but it's not that many. And if you're going to lobster lunch, even though it's in the middle of the afternoon, still, you never know. You just never know.
What was Mark Twain's quote?
Well, it's the coldest
Coldest winter I ever had was a summer in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. So, only here can you dress in layers. Unless you're going a little further north, like Healdsburg, and then east, and that stays pretty warm at night. But Yeah, we were chilly, man. That was wow, big surprise. Okay, all right. The why does he say 2009? That's not a 2009. I thought it was a 2000. Oh, it is a 2009.
So, do you think this fire that's happening in Napa might affect their grapes up there from the smoke?
Okay, so the question that Nita has is because of the fire, do you think it would affect the grapes up there? The well, the good, I guess the good news is they're a little young yet, so you got an awful lot of hang time. You could probably run sprinklers to get some of the, soot and things off of the grapes at this point, and probably be okay. If it was another month or two, yeah, I would think you'd have a major effect, which is what we had in 2008. In 2008, we clearly had smokiness. I mean, smoky, literally, and it was pretty strong.
Well, you could definitely, if you had it out here and it was blind tasting, you'd just pick it out. There it is.
Well, and you'd pick it out. You'd pick it out from a distance because it was really potent, and but it had to be much further north and more Mendocino, Anderson Valley. It blew that way. Anything down in here was not a problem. All right, this is it. This is a neat wine. This is a 2009 Rockpile Zinfandel from Bonneau. He aged this in new French oak for 22 months, which is a long time for a Zin. I mean, that's a lot. Normally 15, 18 months. But brand new French oak, you're killing it. And he made, I want to say he made like, I don't know, 90 cases of this. So there's not a whole lot of this left. We have been kind of just sitting on it. It's 2009, a fabulous vintage year, quite nice. And oh my, I haven't had this in a long time, Andy. This is really good. What are you looking for?
That 07, the 07 Zin, you want to grab that from Bono?
Right, go down one. That one. Yeah. So, wow, the nose on this is just right out of.
Yeah.
Woo! Big red berry, red berry fruit all day long. Woo! Yeah. How about that? Does that help? All right. Retail on this is $50, $42.50 if you're a Cellar Club member. Yeah, there's a little bit of this left, but man, oh man,
That is beautiful.
I haven't tasted, but the nose is fantastic.
So if they didn't
Candy
take
in the
their-
nose, just candy. Oh man.
The Dramamine is recommended when you review this show.
Why you got
I'm
some?
not as smooth as Christina, but I'm giving it.
Who the hell's Christina?
Well, Karina. I'm giving it the old college try here.
Oh brother. Okay.
Wow.
That's
What the hell's wrong with that?
Not a doggone thing.
Okay, so save this puppy dog for the big hearty part of your meal. But you could do ribs with this. This is a barbecue special. You're doing some ribs, no issue. Chicken with a spicy barbecue sauce, all day long. You're all over this. You're just absolutely jumping through hoops. That is really nice. Wow. Mm.
Wow.
Boom.
Bam. Yeah, you could hear it.
You know, the other thing I've noticed in the last 5 years on the firework shows, they've gotten really creative with the actual. They can do like a box, a firework that looks like a box. It's amazing what they're doing nowadays. And the other thing too is they have new colors. So it's not the traditional colors. They'll have like an aqua. It's amazing what they're doing nowadays. It's where I sit on the beach. I can watch the two shows across the lake, and then there's the one at State Line, and then They didn't do it last year, but this guy paid for his own private. He paid for it off of Pope Beach, which is real close to where we watch. But they have one that kind of looks like Saturn with rings. It's a circular thing. It's just amazing what they're doing nowadays. I don't know how they do it. They have smiling faces, and it's incredible.
Well, how did you figure it out? What kind of a scenario did you have to do, right? Because at some point you gotta launch the damn thing. I mean, you can't just you put the thing together and go, okay, I think it's going to do this. I mean, it's a rocket. You got to send it up in the air and let it rip. I'd like to be in the test.
Well, now they fire them off with electronic triggers, but I remember growing up as a kid where there was a guy running around with like a flare, lighting the fuses and getting the heck out of the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you gotta be really careful with those things, because tell them about our CPA guy.
Well, our CPA is a great CPA, but he only has one arm and one eye. And he's almost blind in the other one because, well, actually I think he had something go off in his hand, and it was probably more than just your lady finger. I mean, when I was in Germany, when my dad was stationed there in the military, they had a firework that looked like a block, and it was gunpowder with tightly woven twine. And that thing you could put on a brick wall, it just blasts right through the brick wall. So it's like you don't even light that thing close to your hand, because that it would just take your hand off.
So the moral of the story is, do not hold the fireworks. Anything
So,
bigger than a sparkler.
Are you doing a safe and sane commercial here?
Yes.
Okay, so Nita wants everybody to be safe. Don't do anything weird. Don't do anything crazy, and don't hold it in your hand.
Well, we're novices with fireworks because most of the fireworks we have are all safe and sane, right? But you go to Nevada and you can find Roman candles, and those are fun. You just light them off, right? And they go pew, pew, pew. So you'd be over there like pew, pew, pew.
Well, I did that as a kid in New York. We were able to get all that stuff. We could get we could get M80s and all that.
I remember as a kid, I was back in North Dakota visiting my relatives, and a bunch of my cousins. Was one of those where you dare someone, and we went into a small little room, and then we took the bottle rockets and then we tore off the sticks so they would just go like this, and then we'd fire them off, and we'd just all be there.
Hey, Russ, one of the bloggers said that weapon you just described for a firework is called a hand grenade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a hand grenade. Yeah, it's reacting, that's for sure. So, and the wine was good. So, back to the wine. That is pretty damn yummy. If you like a big, rich Zinfandel, this is it right here. I mean,
And it's tasting so well. It's an 09, so we're 5 years out. But what would your expectation be in another 5 years if you laid it down?
well, the cool thing, because he put it in that brand new French oak for such a long time, that's really going to extend the ageability. So all you're going to notice is it's softening, and that's what we're seeing now. It's so much softer than it was when we first brought it in here, and that will continue. But I think you got lots of time on this. I mean, really, you don't think about Zin as aging for a long time, but I think this is one you could put a bunch of that down and sit on it. If I had any willpower whatsoever, that'd be something that I would do, is lay that down. But I have friends that come over, and so I need to put a little bit more in my glass here because it's tasting too damn yummy.
And you said that's limited quantity.
Oh yeah, there's not a whole lot of this left, man. There's very little of that, and then that's gone forever. It's a one-off. He got that fruit one time, and that's all he got. There's no.
What's the
backup.
price point on this one?
That's 50.
Yeah.
So you're hitting the elevator a little bit in price point, but in life sometimes things are worthy, and you go worthy, and that is just. I mean, if you don't like that, man, you freaking hate Zinfandel. That's for sure.
And as a club member, what's the price on it?
And $42.50 if you're a Cellar Club member, and if you're a list club where you buy cases 4 times a year, you get 25% off. So that's even better. So
Holy
yeah, you're making money there.
So you can go right online and fill out an application.
Yeah, we can do that, Nita. We can go right online and fill out an application and be a wine club member. That's right.
Yeah, gotta peruse that website. There's
Yeah.
some fun stuff to check out.
Well, there's a lot of events going on. We've got a lot happening.
On the calendar.
Not only do we have the lobster lunches, we also have a hospitality event for those that are in the hospitality business, and we'll let our wine club members sneak in on that night too. But that's on the 31st of July from 6:30 to 8:30, and that's a free event for, really it's designed for hospitality, but we'll let the wine club in on that one. And we're going to barbecue tri-tip outside, and we're going to have live music with Ricky Allen Ray, and we're going to taste some cool wines, big time.
Pickup party on the 19th,
And then on the 19th,
third Saturday of the month.
oh, well, yeah, and then we have our pickup party, of course, and that's on the 19th this month. Is that what it is? The third Saturday. What we do is we're going to taste you through the wines. Doesn't matter what club you're in, you're always invited. It's free for the club, and you get to choose from our menu here for on the caprese or the Tuscan chicken, or the sausage and cheese, and you can have that complimentary as a wine club member. And if you bring a guest, they can do the tasting and get some food for $20, and life is good there. So that we do that on the third Saturday of every month through the summer. So lots of fun stuff, and reasons to come and visit wine country. And I want to thank our bloggers and team that's been tuning in week after week to watch us. You need to say some prayers for our Giants. They need to come out of their funk. So we need as much help as we can. And those of you that don't have a team to root for, please root for ours, because they need all the damn help they can do. And a little shout out to the U.S. Soccer team. They went really far in that tournament, and it got a little above their head, but they did. It was a good game. They played well, and fell a little short, but that was interesting to watch and fun, and so a nice shout out for them. And Nita, thank you for filling in for Karina, and Russell,
Yeah,
thanks
I
for
hope the home audience isn't
you know,
like a little queasy.
queasy for your camera shots. Yeah, well. And then Russell, thank you for coming in and giving us some insight on the 4th of July. I want you to all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Remember, if you're visiting here on Friday, we will not be open for 4th of July, but we are open every other day. And this is where you discover wine one sip at a time here at Cellars of Sonoma. We thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week. All right, bye for now. Play the credits.
I'm with you. It doesn't matter where we are or what we're doing. I'm with you, that's all that matters. wish I could sing it to you. Oh no, I wish I could sing it to you. Oh, 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 mostly I'm silent, silent, la 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 la. Never think of the right words to say.